Hey, I'm Rob G from Icons of Fright, and we're here with Del, the owner of Dark Delicacies.
How you doing?
And this is one of our favorite spots to visit when we're visiting from New York. It's located in beautiful Burbank on Burbank Boulevard. So, Del, just tell us quickly, what are kind of the origins of the store? What made you decide to open this location here?
Actually, the origins of the store are the fact that when my wife and I moved in together prior to getting married, we were both into horror. And we wanted some kind of tchotchkes or something to reflect our taste around the house, and there weren't any. So we went on a search, and all we found was that old Toscano catalog that had that stupid dog gargoyle with wings that you could put out in your garden. That was like it.
Yeah.
And we thought maybe other people are idiots like we are and are interested in this kind of stuff. So we started gathering this and that and this from different catalogs and putting them in one place. And then we did a couple of conventions, had a table at conventions in the dealer room.
Right.
And it seemed to catch on, so we opened a store with basically nothing, our own collection and some little odds and ends, and it grew from there.
So essentially this is the type of place with stuff that you would personally want to buy.
Right. Right, and in fact it really seriously reflects my wife's taste, Sue's taste, because she does most of the buying. I kind of buy the films and we talk about the books, but the giftware is basically hers. And then the other stuff was a natural extension, the t-shirts, the jewelry, the DVDs. We tried to encompass everything horror. And basically, if you can think about it in real life as a gift item or whatever, they probably make it with a Frankenstein motif or a ghost or a vampire or something on it to make it horror. So if you can have a cookie jar, I have a Frankenstein cookie jar. If you have a wine glass, I have probably a wine glass that the stem is like a Cthulhu monster's tentacle. You know, so basically it's everyday wear. Like, you know, there's even Pilsner glasses and that kind of stuff, but with a horror motif.
Right. Now, one of the cool things or aspects of Dark Delicacies, pretty much every time I'm in town, you always have a cool in-store. And it seems like a lot of the local horror community kind of rallies behind these events and comes and shows up and supports.
Well, it's good. You know, we are the epitome of location, location, location. We're in Hollywood. So you have all your film people here. You have your book people here because they're either on tour or they're coming in to try and sell it to films. And it's worked out being where we are. I mean, you'll get Greg Nicotero from KNB, and you'll get you know, Victor Salva from Jeepers Creepers, and you'll get Ryan Rotten from Shock Till You Drop, or Spooky Dan from Bloody Disgusting, or the authors F. Paul Wilson or Whitley. At any point in time, you never know who's going to be inside the place.
Right.
Look,
right.
I even got you guys.
Icons of Fright. So, I mean, last time I was in town, I met John Landis here, which is cool, and then now you've got Joe Lansdale coming later in the month. So
we do. We just had Charles Durning, of all people, two-time Academy Award winner, and he's in here because he did a small independent horror film. What a delight when, you know, and when you think back on it, and he's had some horror films in his career too. So it was quite a nice thing for me to meet him. He was really fun.
Now, I mean, obviously, as a fan of the genre and being kind of around what's current, what's been, you know, among your favorite things that you've seen, both film-wise and book-wise, in, I don't know, the past year or so?
What happens in our country determines whether horror is up or down. Horror was really big during Vietnam. When I started the store 14 years ago, the biggest single genre was vampire. And at that time it was because of the erotic, the appeal to the females, and in fact, the majority of my customers are female, not male. And now we're right on the verge of vampires coming back, and it's because of the tweeners and this whole Stephanie Meyer's teenage angst vampire. Very different approach than the vampire that was popular when I came in, which was an erotic, romantic vampire.
Right.
Now it's teenage angst, and I think that was probably led by Buffy and the rest of the stuff that came through.
In the history of the store, has there ever been an in-store that you've done that's just stood out as one of the best, or just one you couldn't believe that happened, as a fan yourself, having somebody here at the store?
Well, you know, my very, very first one, the first month we were in business, was Sarah Karloff, Boris Karloff's daughter. And we've never had a month without an in-store. Blatty, you know, from The Exorcist, blew me away. This is the godfather of horror, and I'm like, you're sitting here going, I'm going to go next door for something Mexican, and then I'll be back in time for the signing. The fact that I get to mingle with the people who are my heroes is what drives me on, just because the signings are our bread and butter, and they're the real delight of the whole thing. And Sarah kicked it off, so I have to give kudos to Sarah, but we've never had a month without a signing since then, and it's great.
Well, Del, thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me. We're going to do a little shopping here, but here's Del from Dark Delicacies.
Hey, feel free to look around.